So it turns out Caitlin Clark will not be playing against the Dallas Wings after all. I'm just kidding around. No one really expected Clark to play against the Wings, but there was that update on the WNBA app that confused people a little bit. You can see it here. It has Caitlin Clark listed as a game time decision, but the app is apparently populated by RotoWire. I don't know where their information comes from. If I had to best guess, that ESPN estimate of August 12th of her as her return, and the fact that there had been no official status updates from the team since, put it up in the air. And then they have specific designations like out for season or game time decision, whatever. And that was just the placeholder for Clark. But because it got picked up on the WNBA website, everybody started talking about it. However, we know that the Fever are long playing and slow playing this. That doesn't mean Caitlin Clark is not going to be back. It does not mean Caitlin Clark is not going to be back before too long. In fact, Natasha Howard said, "See you soon." But we did get some words from head coach Stephanie White today from Fever practice as to exactly where Clark is at in the process. And here is what the Fever coach had to say about Clark's possible return from injury or her progress, I guess is what I should say, from her injury return.
Caitlin starting full court running last week. Has she been able to do anything extra since then or return to practice at all?
No return to practice. She's been able to get a little bit more in her full court running, with her all of her body weight. It's really building up from doing minimal to then building some endurance to do longer periods of time. She's been able to do a little bit more on the court in terms of how she moves, but not into practice yet. No.
Now, not into practice yet. That is obviously a negative as far as how soon Caitlin Clark will be back, because she will be in practice before she returns to the court. I would guess at least a few practices before she returns to the floor. But that isn't to say there isn't progress being articulated there. Also, we knew that she was doing full court running, but Stephanie White saying more of it, full body weight, all that stuff. And then the part that stood out to me the most was different types of movement on the court. So she's not just running in a straight line. Running in a straight line, you don't have to worry about your groin so much. But more so lateral movements that you would have to do on the floor, side to side, explosive movements. Those are the things that you'd have to worry about protecting your groin on. So it does sound like the Fever are continuing to build her up step by step, block by block, if you will. We've also seen her shooting in the background. So it's not like she's not shooting the basketball. We've seen that with our own eyes in practice footage. And practice was not open, so we don't know completely the depth of whatever work that Clark is doing. But she is working toward the return. However, until we see her on the floor in practice, it means it's not imminent, meaning in the next game or so. So I would keep that same timeline I've been speculating about on the top of my mind, at least, which was August 22nd was the date I had sort of earmarked, simply because of the way the schedule falls. The Fever have a break between the game Tuesday and the game Friday, and then they have a break between the game Sunday and that following game against the Lynx on the 22nd. So when you have a break, again, like I said, from the 12th until they don't play again until the 15th, then they play on the 17th, but not again until Friday the 22nd. That will be the game, I think, to watch out for when it comes to Caitlin Clark's possible return to the floor. If not, then, I mean, look, I don't want you guys to hear me and think I'm saying it's going to be a specific game, because I don't know. I don't know. That was just the one that pops into my mind. It could also be the game after that, right? Which would make sense too, in the way that these things are falling. The 4th, I'm sorry. They play so maybe not 2 games in a row against the Lynx, the 24th against the Lynx, and they play the 26th. I mean, there still is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games left in the regular season. I think you'd want her to get a minimum of 3 to 4 games under her belt before the playoffs. But there's time, is I guess what I'm saying, and they are taking their time. Meanwhile, Odyssey Sims filling in the meantime will continue to be a player for the Fever once Caitlin Clark returns, most likely, assuming she makes the most of her opportunity. This is what she had to say today after her first Fever practice.
I mean, it's not my first time just coming to a new team and coming in and just being me. The biggest thing is just doing what I do best. Playing defense, playing hard, doing whatever the team needs. Obviously, I know they've been down with the injuries. Prayers up for Sid and Ari. Love them both. But like I said, I'm excited to be here, and I'm not gonna do too much. But whatever coach tells me to do is what I'm gonna do and have fun and enjoy my teammates.
Yeah, how much are you looking for this opportunity? Because there's plenty of talent here still in this team.
I mean, I'm excited about tomorrow. I know Indiana has great fans, some of the best fans in the W. So I'm a little nervous just because it's going to be a lot of people. But I'm excited to play, actually put my jersey on. And like I said, to be around my teammates. First, it was my first day. It was great. I'm looking forward to many more great days. And like I said, just enjoying this, taking advantage of it. And I mean, the opportunity is here. So it's up to me what I decide what I'm going to do with it.
In what way do you see your skill set fitting in with what this group does?
Uh, I think I'll be just fine. I think when you go to any team, go from one team to the next, I mean, of course, it's about adjusting, fitting in, of course, learning the plays. But, I mean, I think I learned pretty quick. I know this team does get out and run a lot. That's what I do like to do. So I think I'll just be just fine starting tomorrow.
That was Odyssey Sims. That's courtesy of Tony East's YouTube channel. Obviously has the right head on her shoulders, the right mentality about things. Just like with Ari McDonald, understanding what an opportunity this is for her to continue her career, not only just in the WNBA and professionally, but possibly with the Fever. I noticed the nervous bit. That's funny, talking about the fans and how many people she'll be playing in front of. And that is the difference when you join the Fever, the amount of attention you get versus another team. Most teams aren't picking up a player off, a hardship or what have you, and it being as big a story as it is when someone is joining the Fever and they're filling in for Caitlin Clark. But we will see Odyssey Sims play big minutes, I'm assuming. I don't know how she doesn't get thrown right into the fire considering the situation, and give her a little grace as far as she fits in. But she's been around the block, so she should understand what it takes and acclimate herself rather quickly, and hopefully plays well enough where it does feel like she's a part of the team in the rotation, or she earns herself a part in the rotation going forward for the remainder of the season. The Fever's upcoming schedule, not bad at all. Again, they can continue to bide time, if you will. The Wings, the Mystics, the Sun before those Lynx games. So some winnable games. They're in a pretty good spot in the standings, and they're still in a decent enough spot when it comes to the season. I mean, eventually time is going to run out. That hourglass is going to empty. But until then, they got life. They've kept themselves alive, and they have a possibility to be revitalized.